If you missed the first of 4 public office candidate debates on MTN this morning, don't worry, our Jonathan and Barian will break down the highlights. Plus, with the rise in uncertainty during the pandemic, are more people joining churches in Montana? We'll tell you. And later, 57 years to the day that Martin Luther King Jr. marched on Washington, thousands arrived at the nation's capital this past week to protest racial injustice in America.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Thanks so much for spending your last Sunday in August with us. I'm Matt Olzaffel. Earlier today, MTN broadcast the first of 4 debates between candidates running for statewide offices that haven't received as much attention during this election season. MTN's Jonathan and Barian has more on the debate featuring the major party candidates to lead the office of public instruction.
The election for Montana's Superintendent of Public Instruction is the only statewide race this year that's a rematch. Republican Elsie Arnson defeated Democrat Melissa Romano in 2016. Both candidates are running again this year, and MTN recently hosted them for a debate. The debate aired on MTN stations statewide Sunday morning. Arnson said her experience makes her the best choice to advocate for schools during a challenging time.
It's very challenging if you don't have a relationship built with the legislature, and I have had one over 14 years now, making sure that their promise to fund our public schools does occur, and making sure that their stability is put back in to our school board rooms where they can fund our public school teachers.
But Romano said she didn't believe Arnson had been forceful enough in support of public schools.
Every student in our state deserves a leader at the Office of Public Instruction, someone who's going to show up and advocate for them. So I will be very present at the legislature, and I will be advocating for bills that would benefit Montana students. I will be opposing bills that are detrimental to Montana's public school system.
Romano said one of her main priorities as superintendent would be supporting public funding for preschool.
I know how important it is to reach and intervene early in a child's life, and public preschool it's absolutely time that we invest in public preschool and our young learners. We know that it will benefit long beyond when they're 5 and 6, well into when they're adults.
Arnson said her office has put effort into improving student readiness, and she wants to keep focusing on that.
This begins in middle school. You know, we can add a brand new cohort of students, but those other children are left behind. And let's invest, not only invest in our children, but let's have a more robust conversation with our private partners.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
And if you'd like to watch the full debate, you can find it on our website. Now, next Sunday, MTN Chief Political Reporter Mike Dennison will host a debate with the 2 major party candidates running for state auditor. Less than 100 new coronavirus cases reported in Montana since yesterday. That puts the state at just under 2,000 active cases, with almost 7,400 total. Cascade County reporting 114 active cases, 280 total. Lewis and Clark County showing 40 active cases with 196 confirmed overall. Today was a cooler day across the Treasure State, and meteorologist Grant Garland is here to show us those numbers. Hey, Grant.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, it was definitely a different feel outside, especially this morning. It was actually kind of chilly. Temperatures right now, 64 degrees here in the Electric City. Out towards the capital, we're looking at temperatures around 69, 66 in Havre, and 60 in Lewistown. Now, it is kind of windy out there, 5 miles an hour in Great Falls, but we've had wind gusts up to around 31 miles an hour. Definitely earlier today, it was definitely breezier. 37 degrees in Jordan, 35 in Helena, and 36 in Glasgow. Over the last 3 hours, we have been looking at clouds mainly staying off towards the east of us, passing through Glasgow and out towards Miles City, while the rest of us are looking at mostly sunny skies. As we head throughout the next several hours, temperatures will fall down to around 56 degrees by 9 p.m., 50 by 12 a.m. By 6 a.m., 44 degrees with clouds building into the area. Tonight, overall, 44 degrees in Great Falls, 44 degrees in Great Falls, 40 in Lewistown, and 42 in Hayes. And for the bus stop forecast, well, for Helena, for Great Falls, 20% chance of showers for us. Temperatures around 45 degrees. And for Helena, looking at a better chance for showers, so you might need to make sure that you have that umbrella packed, but the showers do go away by lunchtime. Now, some of us could see another shot of rain again tomorrow, and I have details on which places we can.
All right, thank you, Grant. Well, the University University of Montana President Seth Bodner says the university is looking at different ideas to offset the loss of football and athletic revenue this fall. During his recorded State of the University address this past week, Bodner spoke of the financial challenges caused by the pandemic. He said the school is already trimming some spending, saying it's still early to know what all the impacts will be. However, he warns further cuts, or at least shifting some funding, will likely follow. During his follow-up question and answer session with reporters, Bodner says the UM recognized the cancellation of fall athletics is already presenting significant challenges, from tickets revenue to the money students can earn during a Grizz game day. And he said the university is looking at different ways to try to cushion those setbacks.
We're adapting. We're taking some actions to reduce spending in areas that we can. We've also are calling on some of our supporters to step up and help our students through this challenging time. And we are working on ways to perhaps generate some additional revenue again through private support. And there's still potential for a spring season.
Bodner says athletics are incredibly important, but also says the university wants to prioritize the health and safety of our student athletes and the broader community. Due to the uncertainty of the pandemic, it seems more people are looking for hope now than ever. Great Falls pastors believe that search for hope has led to positive changes in their online memberships. Both New City Church and Victory Church of Great Falls said while they've seen in-person attendance decrease, their online participation has increased over the past few months. They attribute the drop in in-person attendance to fear of COVID-19 and ease of online access. But they believe the change in online engagement is due to people's desire for a certain faith during uncertain times.
With all of the unrest, with all of the challenge of COVID-19, people are a lot more intrigued by the season of life that we're in. There's a lot more questions being asked. And so I think there's a level of curiosity. We believe that people are looking for hope. And so when they come to church, that's what we want them to find.
Tune in tonight at 10 for the full story of how our city's church attendance is changing in response to the pandemic. Coming up, a craft show in Townsend that supports playground equipment for local schools looked a little different this year than in previous years. We'll tell you about that and more after the break.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Filmmakers used a historic mansion in Butte as part of a short film project on Shoshone Chief. MTN's John Amy talked with the director and one of the actors from Butte.
Scene 11, Charlie, take one.
Butte's Clark Chateau was one of the settings for a short historical film about Chief Tendoy and the Shoshone Indians. A local Butte actor was grateful to be a part of this project.
Just something I've never done before, and I got a phone call, and I was just really blessed to have this opportunity here. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty cool to have something like this happen here in Butte.
The Butte actor plays a butler to President Ulysses S. Grant in this period film about a meeting with Chief Tendoy and the president.
And I'm always willing to challenge myself and take new roles and different challenges, and it's blessed to have the opportunity to do that here in Butte.
The filmmakers chose the Clark Chateau for its historic appearance. Management at the Chateau were happy to provide the mansion.
It's great because we take all of that money from that rental and put it back into the property. So it's not really it's a win-win for everybody. You get a beautiful space and we get some more funding to help fix up the building.
The filmmakers are delighted with the progress of the filming.
Amazing. Kind of gets you a little emotional. It's been challenging, but we've done it.
The film is expected to be ready by next year and presented at numerous film festivals. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
And part of the film was also shot in Virginia City, and some scenes will even be shot in Helena. The Cook Mansion hosted an annual craft show that is usually at a local elementary school this weekend. MTN's Alexia Aguayo tells us how this show adjusted in the pandemic to continue its support for local students.
This craft show in Townsend features a lot of great work from local artists, but has come a long way just to be here. This craft show was supposed to begin at the start of summer, but the pandemic changed it all. The event coordinator said they've had to reschedule this event 4 times until they were finally allowed to hold the craft show Saturday at the Cook Mansion. Having dates change have kept vendors in the shadows waiting to sell their items.
We had hoped to have done this in April and then maybe have one at the later part of the summer and early fall, and so it's really kind of pushed all of that back. So yeah, it's affected, I think, most vendors.
Despite the changes to the event coordinator was determined to have a craft show this year to continue its raffle. All proceeds go to students at a local elementary school.
Because the kids need it. The kids need it outside. What this buys is equipment for the kids to play outside. And with having so many kids in school, the equipment gets worn really fast, and it's not that easy to be replaced.
Cher serves as a substitute teacher and understands the pressure for schools to have enough equipment for students to last the whole year. The pandemic has put a toll on her craft show efforts to have it more than once a year.
But like I said, it needs replaced often. And if you only do this once a year, it doesn't really go that far.
The goal is to raise at least $250 for the playground equipment. In Townsend, I'm Alexi Guayo, MTM News.
Donations were also collected for the East Helena Boy Scouts. If you wish to donate to the school, our website will have the contact information.
Well, we saw winds peak at 31 miles an hour here in Great Falls. What's in store for this work week? Coming up, find out.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Grant Garland.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a great Sunday afternoon so far. It's definitely beautiful to get outside, maybe go for a walk with your dog, or take them out to the dog park. That's where Pongo and I were earlier this afternoon. 64 degrees, that was our high today here in the Electric City. A little bit warmer down towards Capitol at 70 degrees, 60 degrees in Lewistown, and 66 in Havre, 65 in Glasgow, and 69 out towards Jordan. Now, we were able to see a better chance for a few showers, and that happened around this morning. And in fact, we were able to pick up only a 1/10 of an inch of rain in Cut Bank, but the good news is that we do have another chance for rain tomorrow. Now, today's high, again, it was around 64 degrees in the Electric City, but the average is around 78, so definitely a bit difference on that. The record set back in 1929 when it was 97 degrees. That was also the year that, well, the first car radio was invented by Motorola. Now, temperatures right now, 69 in Helena, 60 in Lewistown, and 66 in Havre, around 64 in Cut Bank. And even though we aren't seeing any winds right now in Great Falls, we did see 31-mile-per-hour wind gusts. 18 right now, though, in Lewistown, 24 in Havre, 31 in Jordan. And again, we only were able to pick up a 1/10 of an inch in Cut Bank and 200ths of an inch in Havre, but we will have another shot of rain as we head throughout the morning tomorrow. Over the last 3 hours, we've been looking at a few clouds that have been pushing towards the southeast in Glasgow. Mainly all the rain is moving out towards the Dakotas right now. As far as our winds are concerned, as we head throughout the day tomorrow, we are going to be looking at 10 to 20 mile per hour winds in some locations, possibly 20 to 30 mile an hour winds in Lewistown. And our winds are only going to pick up on Tuesday as well as Wednesday here in the Electric City. Going throughout the night tonight, most of us are going to be staying dry. We're going to be looking at clouds, though, increasing. Also, rain chances really staying off towards the east, towards the west for Great Falls. Helena could be looking at a few showers out and about. Not expecting much, though, and the snow is possible in the higher elevations. Going throughout the day, we are going to be looking at clouds gradually clearing out for a mostly sunny into both Helena as well as Great Falls, and sunny skies really for Havre and Glasgow. Going into Monday night through Tuesday morning, we're going to be looking at things kind of clearing out, even though a few clouds will try to make their way and stick around for Cut Bank throughout the day on Tuesday. I think most of us, though, will be looking at mostly sunny skies. How much rain could we be looking at? Well, this model is showing that the best chance to pick up anything is going to be out towards Missoula as well as Butte. Looking at possibly a couple 100ths of an inch in Helena, but we're just going to have to wait and see. It's just been so dry, but thankfully with the rain earlier this morning, hopefully that has helped saturate the atmosphere enough to where we could be looking at actually rain falling and not drying out. Temperatures, as we head throughout the next week, we are going to be looking at 79 degrees on Thursday, and that's the average for this time of year, 79, 78, and then falling back down to 70 degrees on Sunday. Now, you can always stay weather aware by following me at meteorologist Grant Garland on Facebook and downloading that free KRTV KXLH app. They are free and ever present. 43 tonight in Cut Bank, 44 in Great Falls, 40 in Lewistown, 42 in Hazen, 43 in Jordan, as well as Glasgow. Heading throughout the day tomorrow, 7 a.m., 45 degrees. By 1 p.m., 64 degrees. We are going to be looking at our temperatures kind of staying low tomorrow, 69, 83 on Tuesday. We're going to stick around with our nice sunny and dry skies pretty much as we go throughout the work week, and that's going to be the same situation for our friends in Helena. Sunny skies Thursday through Saturday. Don't go away. We'll be back after this break.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
This week, tens of thousands of men and women from around the country gathered in Washington, D.C. for March on Washington. 57 years ago, Martin Luther King Jr. led his march for civil rights. Friday's march inspired by the death of George Floyd and recent events like the shooting in Wisconsin. Our Joe St. George was there speaking with those who felt they needed to be there, even during a pandemic.
No justice, no peace.
Marchers are here.
I'm from Houston, Texas.
From
New Jersey.
all over.
I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
To be a part of history.
It does feel like the 60s.
57 years after Martin Luther King held his march on Washington, men and women by the tens of thousands are marching here again.
I have a nice little scar from it. Has 7 stitches.
Andre Miller is here from Portland, Oregon. His scar is still healing from being hit with a tear gas canister there during a recent protest. It's not that, though, bringing him to D.C. It's his son.
My kids get called the N-word. We want like a suspension or something.
His 14-year-old son faces racism in school. Andre Jr. telling us today's speakers are motivating him to keep fighting.
And just to hear their message is just so inspiring.
Today's events taking place in the shadow of the Martin Luther King Memorial. We found Martin Luther King III speaking to a small crowd about how his dad would be so proud.
The only way we're going to ever resolve these issues is we have to do it together.
But it's not just black men coming here to the National Mall in D.C. today. Men and women of all races here too, including moms.
It's too much injustice.
Beth Wagner is multiracial. Her sons are black.
I'm always at fear that, they could just be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Many people we met, though, want today to not be an end, but a beginning, telling us too many lives have been lost.
Thinking about what my ancestors fought for and what they had to do for me to get freedom and what I'm still going through to this day.
In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
After more than 10,000 surgeries and 34 years of service to the Billings community, a legendary Billings Clinic heart doctor is turning in his scrubs for retirement. But as he goes, he'll leave behind a legacy of change in both technology and knowledge. MTN's Andrea Lutz talked with Dr. Scott Milligan about a career spent holding hearts in his hands.
If it's true what they say, a heart is made to be broken.
If you Google the heart, it's Googled more than any other organ.
Then Scott Milligan was made to fix them.
But I knew there was something great here. I knew there was something special.
He's spent 34 years working for Billings Clinic.
We packed the family up. We came to Billings, joined Billings Clinic, and got to work.
Working to build a rewarding career on the shoulders of some of the best heart doctors Billings has ever seen.
Today for me is the day I left the arena, and I'm going to head up into the bleachers. And so I had a great day with my incredible crew that helps with every operation, our heart team that we do. Then the most important job after actually operating on the patient is to go give the family the good news. So I was with my clinical coordinator, and we were going to talk to the family, and I walked around the hall, and there was a lot of people clapping their hands for me, and that's when I lost it.
During his career, he watched as Billings Clinic evolved from a practice to a massive hospital, saw technology advance to make cardiac surgery more safe and efficient, and helped develop a specialized heart team. But it's his patients and their stories that will leave the biggest impact.
A few months ago, a fellow came up to me and he said, are you Dr. Milliken? I said, yes, I am. And he said, I want to thank you. You operated on my dad back in 1986. And I said, thank you very much. Thanks for saying something. And as he walked away, he said, oh, by the way, he's still doing great. And I said, how old's your dad? And he said, he's 95.
And as he leaves the OR, he'll surely take heart in knowing Billings is his greatest career highlight.
As I look around, I'm so proud of what we've become. When you look back on 34 years of practice, you get some perspective. And if you have perspective, it allows you to see trajectory, and I think Billings Clinic is on a great path.
In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
They will bring a chance for showers mainly towards Helena with windy and dry conditions for pretty much all of Montana. So heads up, have those umbrellas with us in the morning.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.